What's up, PTB Nation? Welcome to another episode of Parking the Bus. This is episode 82. I'm the Mr. Mike Agustino. I'm here with you again, and this is going to be a shorter episode tonight because this is going to lead you right in to tonight's Liga MX semifinal, leg number 2, over on TUDN, over on Univision. That's right, tonight at El Volcán, Tigres are hosting Atlas. Atlas come in with a 3-0 lead. This is kind of like a pregame show / review show of the first legs. I've also got 2 Major League Soccer matches up right here. Actually, I got 1 Major League Soccer match up right here, and I got a Brasileiro match on the other side of the screen. I'm going to be very, very busy tonight. We got all kinds of action going on all over the place. Brasileiro action, Liga MX playoffs, like we said, Major League Soccer, a ton of games going on, and of course, my Boston Celtics are playing tonight in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I hope I have enough screens. But you know what? I'm going to need more screens tomorrow, because tomorrow is decision day in the English Premier League and in the Italian Serie A. So tune to the Parking the Bus podcast tomorrow, Sunday, 10 a.m. Get your preview of decision day. And then tomorrow night, 9 p.m., right where you're watching on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and on the PTB Media Twitter feed at PTB Media PTB_media, right there, you will get both of those episodes tomorrow. 10 a.m. is the preview, and then 9 p.m. we'll review all the action, relegation battles, championship battles, European battles. It's all on the line tomorrow in both leagues, and I will be here tomorrow for it. But tonight, we're talking about Liga MX because the playoffs are at the semifinals. The second leg starts tonight. Like I said, Tigres hosting Atlas in about 24 minutes or so. So this is going to be a quick episode. I'm going to run through the episode. I'm going to run through the matches, the first leg matches, okay? And I'm going to go through them. And at the same time, I'll update you with, I got New England versus Cincinnati here on my screen, and I got Botafogo versus América Mineiro on my screen. So we'll see if anything happens. Hopefully it doesn't take my attention too much. But I do want to say one thing. If you did not watch the UEFA Women's Champions League final earlier today, go find it. It's on YouTube for free. Go to DAZN's YouTube channel. Just put in Olympique Lyon versus Barcelona. What a football match, especially in the first half, in the first 45 minutes. That was fantastic football. Congratulations to Olympique Lyon reclaiming their crown. The Queen are back on their throne in European women's football. Congratulations to Lyon. Like I said, 3-1 winners today. I will review that match in a future episode. All right, if you are watching right now, make sure you share this episode on your Twitter feed if you're watching on Twitter so that this gets out to more people if you're interested in Liga MX. Let's go to leg 1 now. Let's review leg 1, and it's the 2 teams we got playing tonight. You can see it there on the bottom as it's scrolling for you. Tonight's matchup is going to be Tigres hosting Atlas. Leg 1 was played back on Wednesday, and you had Atlas hosting Tigres at the Jalisco Stadium, okay, in Guadalajara. This is Guadalajara's other team, of course. Guadalajara, famous as the home of Chivas, but Atlas, the defending champions. That needs to be stated. Atlas are the defending champions, and they're looking primed to go back to the final. Let me tell you, they're 90 minutes away from the final. Let's go to leg 1 and see what went down. All right, at the Jalisco, the starting 11s, starting for Tigres, the visitors, and the higher seed in this one, Tigres. And if you're not aware, okay, there's a unique rule in Liga MX that I actually like a lot that MLS should adopt, in my opinion. Although MLS got away from 2-legged knockout ties, they go straight to one, single game knockout. But I like that in Liga MX, when you are tied on goal, when you are tied on aggregate, the team with the higher seed advances. So it forces the lower seed to come out and play. They cannot just sit in. Atlas did that in leg 1. They won 3-0. Okay, that means tonight, if Tigres win 3-0, Tigres advance to the final. So that's important to keep track of tonight. I've got the chat is open if anybody has any questions. I'm going to go back to the lineup for Tigres in leg number 1. Their manager, of course, is the always entertaining Miguel Herrera, former Mexico national team, former Club America coach. He plays a 3-4-3. He's got longtime goalkeeper Nahuel Guzman, the Argentine, in goal for him. He went with a 3-man back line, like we said. On the right, it was Jesus Alberto Dueñas. The deep-lying central defender was Hugo Ayala Castro. And to his left, Guido Pizarro. The 4 in midfield, starting with the 2 wingbacks, Igor Lichnowsky on the right, Rafael Carioca down the left, and then the double pivot in midfield is Jesus Angulo and Juan Pablo Vingon. In the attack, Luis Quiñones down the left, Jefferson Soltedo down the right, and what's becoming a legend in Liga MX. Now he's been there for a long time. He has been in the league a long time. He is maybe the best player to play in this league in this century. Okay, I'm talking about the Frenchman, André Pierre Gignac. He is the star of Tigres, and he got the start at the striker position. For Atlas, their manager, Diego Cocha, would send out a 3-5-2, a little bit different of a lineup. In goal, he had Camillo Vargas. His 3 across the back, Jose Aveja, Anderson Santa Maria, and Martino Hugo Nervo in the back. The wingbacks, Emmanuel Aguilera and Luis Reyes. And the 3-man in the central and midfield for this one. In the holding position, in the number 6, wearing the number 6 was Edgar Salvidar. To his right, Anibal Chala, and to his left, Aldo Rocha. Now the 2 in attack are Julio Cesar Fuch and Julian Quiñones. So those are the 22 men that took the pitch. Here are some of the stats in leg 1. All right, despite the lopsided goals, the goal result, Tigres actually had more of the share of the possession. You guys all know by now, if you watch me enough, how I feel about that stat. But Tigres, 53.5% possession in this one, whereas Atlas, much more productive with their 46.5%. Both teams equated for 11 total shots, and Atlas getting 11 chances created with Tigres getting 10. Big chances, though, Tigres had the advantage. Tigres with more complete passes, with a higher pass success rate, fewer fouls, more corners, everything that some coaches really focus on. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the result, is the goal scored at the end of the day. And Atlas would get on the board first, obviously, as they were the ones to win this match. And they would score the first one here in the 40th minute, and it was on a penalty. It was a clear penalty. It would go to Julio Cesar Furch. He would step up to the penalty spot, and he would bury the goal, bringing the Jalisco to its feet. And when I say to its feet, if you want to know how Americanized Mexican football is, okay, and just how much influence Mexican sports have from the United States of America, as it looks like Cincinnati have drawn level with New England, unless that's an old replay. But anyway, if you want to know, you literally could hear after the first goal, there was an organ playing in the Jalisco Stadium, an organ like we hear in the baseball parks, and it was playing that da-da-da-da-da, and the entire crowd chanted something. I couldn't decipher what it was, something along the lines of charge, but the crowd was hot. They were behind their team. Atlas continued to push forward. In the 61st minute, it was Luis Reyes, assisted by the goal scorer from the first one, assisted by Julio Cesar Furch. He made it 2-0, and we start to see some substitutions after that. Herrera sends on Carlos Gonzalez in place of Jesus Dueñas. And then Aldo Rocha would see a yellow card in the 71st minute. Ortega replaces Furch in the 77th minute for Atlas. And then Diego Barbosa would come in later in the 89th minute. It's all Atlas in this one. Not sure what happened to Tigres here. There's been Tigres over the last decade have been the best team in Mexico. There's no question about it now. The number of titles they've won the CONCACAF Champions League. They've gone to the World Club Cup, got to the final, and nearly beat Bayern Munich. Okay, this team has gotten it done. This has been the most successful team in CONCACAF, not just in Mexico, but in all of CONCACAF in the last decade. But they're really behind it now. And in the 90th minute, Julian Quiñones would make it 3-0. He'd get the assist from Aníbal Chalá. And Atlas go to Monterrey tonight with a 3-goal lead. Like I said, Tigres, if they win 3-0 tonight, there's no extra time. Tigres advance because they are the higher seed. That is the way it works in Mexico until you get to the final. In the final, you have to have a winner. You don't advance on your seed. But this is a way to not go to penalties. It's a way to not play extra time and to not wear the teams down. If you don't know about Mexican football, okay, this is the way that the Mexican football calendar works. Okay, they play 2 seasons per year. So they play a clausura and an apertura. In the fall, they played the apertura. From July to December, it was the apertura. Atlas were the champions at the end of the apertura. Okay, they lifted the trophy. I can't even remember the last time a team repeated and won both titles in the same season in Mexican football. It is very uncommon. It's a league with a lot of parity. And when I say parity, there's 5 or 6 teams that can win the league. They've had, I don't know how many different champions in the last 10 years, an insane number of different champions when you compare it to other leagues, okay? There's good investment in these teams. A lot of television revenue in this league. A lot of these teams are owned by television companies. So the stadiums are almost always full because tickets are cheap. Mexican football. So the first half of the year, everybody plays everybody once, okay? And then they have playoffs. And these playoffs, they call it the Liguilla, are insane. You play every 3 days for 3 weeks. You play 6 games in 3 weeks to win. That's what it takes to win the title. Nobody gets a bye. Nobody gets any advantage other than what I just said, that the higher seed gets to advance, okay, in the event of a tie. That's the only advantage anybody gets. And the final is played over 2 legs. Every round played over 2 legs. So and actually, as of last year, they started with the repechaje, the reclassification, la reclasificación, and excuse my bad Spanish there, la reclasificación. And what happens with that is places 12 to 5 have to play a 1-game playoff to get into. That's the repechaje is the word that they use for it. Okay, that's to get into the Liga. All right, so we have seen teams finish in 5th place and be knocked out. All right, but we do have the top 4 seeds left here in the semifinals. Okay, so we have Pachuca, Tigres, Atlas, and America. Those were the top 4 at the end of the regular season. Okay, in this clausura season. This clausura half season, I guess you could call it, this torneo, this tournament. They use the word tournament a lot. We did get the top 4 teams in the semifinals, in the final 4. That's something Major League Soccer can't seem to have happen. That's something that annoys me about Major League Soccer, is that the top teams, have one bad day and they're out and they're beaten in 90 or 120 minutes, and that's it. That's 9 months, 10 months of football down the drain in 90 minutes. It's something I have a real problem with. It works a little differently in Mexico. In Mexico, okay, again, you play shorter seasons, shorter tournaments. So they crown 2 champions a year. And then the 2 champions play each other for a super campeonato in the beginning of the next season. Very similar to the Community Shield or the Supercopa in Spain or in England or in Italia, in Italy. They also have a Supercopa. It's similar. It's like the Recopa in South America as well, okay? They have not played a domestic cup since COVID. The Copa MX has been on hiatus ever since COVID. So teams play 100% focused on their league play and on CONCACAF Champions League, coincidentally as well. But getting back to it, so this is an absolute grind. You have to play 6 matches in 3 weeks. Everybody has to do it. You have to be tough. You have to be able to play hurt. You have to play tired. There is no getting around it. So Atlas giving themselves a very, very good opportunity to get to the final, winning this first leg 3-0. Okay, they kicking off now in about 11 minutes before we go off tonight because, like I said, it's going to be a little bit shorter of an episode. Let's recap the first leg between America and Pachuca. That one was played at the famous Azteca Stadium. Okay. That was played Thursday night, late Thursday night. These games in Mexico are late. That's my one thing about Mexican football that gets me. Living on the East Coast here, they play very late for me. But that's why we have DVR, right? That's why Kubo TV has DVR. And tonight I'm watching live, like I said, along with about 4 other things. But we got America hosting Pachuca in this semifinal on Thursday night. Pachuca coming in as the top seed. They were I think they call it the Super Campeón or something like. They have a title they have a term they use for the team that finishes the regular season in first place. Pachuca is that team. Their manager is Jorge Almada, and he would play a 4-3-3. Oscar Ustari is the goalkeeper for Pachuca. 4 across the back. Kevin Alvarez, the right back. Gustavo Cabral and Miguel Tapias are the 2 center backs, with Eric Sanchez as the left back. The 3 in midfield, anchored by young Daniel Aceves. Now, there's something interesting in Mexican football. You'll see if you tune in tonight. You'll see players with 3-digit numbers. Daniel Aceves is one of those players where it's number 195. That basically means they're a homegrown player while they're still on a youth or a development contract. They wear a 3-digit number until they are a full, in a full senior contract. But he starts in that number 6 position in the whole for Pachuca. To his right, he's got Luis Chavez. To his left, Victor Guzman. Up front in the attack, down the right, Aviles Hurtado. The striker is Nicolas Ibanez, and to his left, Romario Ibarra. For America, managed by Fernando Ortiz, the interim manager who took over for Santiago Solari early in the season. Santiago Solari getting the sack, the former Real Madrid manager, gets sacked from Club America very early. And the team turns around and starts to play for Fernando Ortiz. It's been quite a turnaround, quite a rally for Club America in this clausura. To go from bottom, they were bottom of the table after 5-6 rounds, to get to 4th place at the end of the regular season and put themselves in position to be here in the last 4. They did well to get a 1-1 result here. It's a little bit of a controversial result. There's a little bit of polemica in this one, as they say on Football Americas, as Hercules Gomez and Sebastian Salazar for ESPN say, polemica, controversy. But here's the 11 that Fernando Ortiz will roll out. He plays a 4-2-3-1. Of course, the legend, the Mexican goalkeeping legend, Guillermo Memo Ochoa is in goal for America. The right back is Jorge Sanchez. The 2 center backs, Sebastian Cáceres and Bruno Valdez. Luis Fuentes is the left back. The double pivot in midfield, Alvaro Fidalgo partners with Pedro Aquino. And in front of them, 3 attacking midfielders, Alex Zendejas down the right, Roger Martinez, one of the higher paid players, down the left. Diego Valdez is in the number 10 position, wearing the number 10, playing right behind the striker, who is Federico Viñas. So, America playing their strongest lineup, and Valdez would score. That is, early on, Bruno Valdez would get the goal to put America ahead in the 54th minute. This match, of course, played, like I said, at the Azteca, played in front of a large crowd of 62,633. That is one of the largest crowds all season in Liga MX. They were dealing with restrictions for part of this season as COVID cases lingered in Mexico a little bit more than we see, for example, in much of Europe. But again, large crowd. They were behind Las Águilas of America, and America got the lead, and it started looking like they were going to take a lead into tomorrow night, that Sunday night, into tomorrow night's second leg. But in the 82nd minute, a very controversial penalty kick is called. Originally, the referee does not call it, and I don't have the referee's name here. Sometimes they provide it, sometimes they don't. But I don't have the referee's name here. But it went to the VAR, and I mean, it is the slightest of touches, and I think that the Pachuca attacker actually seeks the contact. He's running in an unnatural way, and he leaves his heel out. He leaves it back feeling the pressure coming, and manages to get the slightest of contact from the America defender. He goes down. At first, the referee says play on, but when the VAR calls down to the pitch, after some time, they do go over. They take a look at it, and unfortunately for America, fortunately for the leaders, the referee comes back, does the box, points to the spot, penalty kick for Pachuca. It's taken by Nicolas Ibanez, and Ibanez steps up and sends Memo Ochoa the wrong way, silences much of the crowd in the Azteca, and the leaders now looking very good going into tomorrow night's second leg. As we said, if the match finishes 1-1, if the match finishes tied, because I'm quite sure they scrapped away goals in Liga MX. If the match finishes tied at any result tomorrow night, then Pachuca are in the final tomorrow night when they play at the Estadio Hidalgo in Pachuca. America must win if they want to get to the final. This is going to be their biggest test of the season, test of character. Now they're going to have to go on the road and get a win, not just a draw. Again, 2 spots are up for the final. The match is going to kick off very shortly on TUDN. And let's go to tonight's starting lineup, since this is somewhat of a pregame show here. Tigres hosting Atlas, and it will be on TUDN, on Univision, and on Univision Now. So at the Estadio Universitario, they call it El Volcán. Taking a look at the poll here on FOTMob as to who's going to win. 45% of fans say Tigres will win, 13% have selected a draw, and 42% say Atlas are going to win. That's out of 2,749 votes. Let's look at the starting lineups as they are out. So starting with the visitors here, Atlas, managed, of course, by Diego Cocha. He's got Camilo Vargas in goal again. Doesn't look like there's many changes. I see one change in the Atlas side. They're playing a 3-5-2. Across the back, again, Anderson Santamaria as the right center back, Martin Hugo Nervo as the deep lying center back, and Emmanuel Aguilera as the left center back. The wing backs, this is where I see a change, is that right wing back. I see Jose Abeja in there, and on the left, it's Anibal Chala. The 3 in the center of midfield look the same. Aldo Rocha anchoring with Luis Reyes to one side and Edgar Zalvidar to the other. And they're playing behind the 2 attackers, Julian Quiñones, one of the goal scorers, and the other goal scorer from the first leg, Julian Cesar Furch. For Tigres, all right, of course, Miguel Herrera, the manager, we talked about, very animated character, very entertaining character. He's going with a 3-4-2-1, a slight change today. And Nuhuel Guzman returns as the starter. Once again, longtime goalkeeper for Tigres. Part of this somewhat of a dynasty they've been on the last decade. Hugo Ayala Castro, Guido Pizarro, and Igor Linchovsky are the 3 in the back. The wingbacks playing out wide. Jesus Angulo to the left, and Carlos Gonzalez comes in to the right. Javier Aquino and Rafael Carioca, the Brazilian, partner up in the double pivot in midfield behind 2 attacking midfielders. That's Luis Quiñones and Jefferson Soltero behind the striker. Playing a more advanced role tonight, the Frenchman, André-Pierre Gignac. For many years, he's been the best player in CONCACAF. If he's not been the best, he's been the second best. There was a time there when Toronto was flying, when TFC were flying, and they had Sebastian Jovinko. And I said at that time that Sebastian Jovinko and André-Pierre Gignac were the 2 best club football players in CONCACAF. Gignac is still here. Tonight, they're going to put a lot of their hopes on Gignac. All right, 9 o'clock is about to fall. I've got 8:58 here. I think I've got everything I've got to say about this one. Quick little recap of the Liga MX semifinals. Leg 1, Leg 2 about to start. A little programming note, 10 a.m. tomorrow, like I said, I'll be doing a preview for Decision Day. Okay, and in Decision Day, I'm focusing on the English Premier League and on the Italian Serie A. In the Premier League, Liverpool taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers, Manchester City taking on Aston Villa. That's going to be one of the focuses. I'm also going to be watching what Leeds United do, as well as Burnley. They're playing and they're fighting it out for the last relegation spot. There's a little bit of jawing for position in the European spots, but that's kind of defined at this point. That we know what teams are going to Europe, but now it's a matter of 5th, 6th, and 7th. There's still some changes that could move around there. And then later in the day, in Italy, another whole other race going on. Inter Milan are hosting Sampdoria while AC Milan travel to Sassuolo. If AC Milan get a result, if they get a draw, AC Milan will win the Scudetto for the 19th time. They will be il campione. So we'll see what happens there. And then late in the day, it's 3 p.m. Eastern time here in the East Coast of the United States. It'll be 9 p.m. in Italy. It's the relegation battle. Salernitana are playing, I think, Udinese, and Cagliari are playing, I forget who Cagliari are playing, but basically it's down to 2 teams for the final spot to stay in Serie A as well. Salernitana holds a 1-point advantage, so they hold their future in their hand. If they beat Udinese, they stay up. If Cagliari win and Salernitana do not, then Salernitana could still drop. But it's been an amazing run for Salernitana the last 5-6 weeks to get out of the bottom, not just out of the relegation zone, but out of the bottom of the table into the 17th position and just above the line. And we'll find out by this time tomorrow for certain who that will be. All right, I will see you tomorrow. That's my Twitter handle there on the screen. That's at MikeAgostinho. Also follow the show at PTB_media. Check out the homepage as well, www.parkinthebusmedia.com. All right, there's a ton of episodes up there now. I've done some updating. I got my Brasileiro Team of the Week from round 6 as given by SofaScore. And I'm going to turn on the matches. I'm watching New England, Cincinnati right now. That's 2-2. America Mineiros beating Botafogo 1-0 right now. I'm about to turn on Tigres and Atlas, obviously, and I'm going to turn on the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat as well. There's so much going on tonight. Tomorrow's going to be even more crazy. I'll see you tomorrow morning here on the Park and the Bus podcast. It's the Mr. Mike Agostino signing out. Peace.